Hollywood needs to hire real voice actors again. Back in the 1950s, it was uncommon for more than one animated film to make it to theaters per year. But nowadays, at least a dozen are guaranteed to hit the big screen. This is partly because the technological advances of the 21st century have made the animation process less arduous, allowing more studios to flourish, but another part of the equation is the growing popularity of animated films in general, with the genre bringing in billions of dollars at the box office annually. Unfortunately, these financial successes have resulted in many studios choosing to prioritize quantity over quality, with an increased amount of recent animated releases phoning it in and simply basing their stories on pre-existing IP. Even on the rare occasions when we do see films that have an original premise, they often wind up following a formula we've seen time and time again. Case in point, Disney's adorkable female characters, which I have a video all about. Now, these adorkable girls are by no means the only offenders. In fact, there's another unimaginative character type that's even more pervasive in the animation industry, one that transcends genres and studios, haunting me wherever I go.
And now I want to sit back and relax and enjoy my evening, when all of a sudden I hear this agitating, grating voice.
I've recently been doing a good amount of traveling, and as is custom, I spent those 50+ hours taking full advantage of the in-flight entertainment. So imagine my surprise when not one, not two, not three, but 4 of the animated films I wound up watching featured the same aggravating character with the exact same aggravating voice, Awkwafina. For those unfamiliar, Awkwafina first got her start back in the early 2010s by making satirical rap songs online, and she used that virality to break into the entertainment industry.
And she's in live action ones. I'm pretty sure she was in the... I don't even remember. She was in like a Marvel movie though. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, she's an okay voice actor. But she's just kind of annoying, in my opinion.
This began in 2016 with a part in Neighbors 2, as well as a small voice role in Storks, her first foray into animation. Initially, Awkwafina was primarily known for her distinctive voice, awkward behavior, and crude humor, making her a popular choice in comedies, where she often played sassy and self-deprecating characters. 2019's The Farewell was a short-lived shift towards more dramatic and serious roles, but it was quickly followed up by more comedies where she played the same wisecracking goofball as always. This typecasting was even present in animation, as seen with her character in 2019's Angry Birds 2, Courtney. Now admittedly, Angry Birds 2 is pretty low-hanging fruit. Not only is it a sequel to a movie that's based on an app, but it was also pretty blatant about its lack of a decent storyline, hence its primary marketing strategy of celebrity cameos. The most obvious of these stunt casts were David Dobrik, Jojo Siwa, and Colleen Ballinger, who were crammed into the film in order to appeal to their massive child fan bases, which is pretty ironic in hindsight. In 2019, Awkwafina was by no means a household name, so her casting in Angry Birds 2 wasn't a total red flag. But the movie as a whole was reflective of an unfortunate trend within the animation industry, which was that the character wasn't as important as the person who voiced them. For most of the 20th century, studios hired professional voice actors or character actors for animated projects, caring less about name recognition and more about the quality of work. Besides voice actors being more experienced in that department, showcasing a vocal range that the average A-list screen actor didn't have, they also weren't as costly, allowing that portion of the budget to go towards the screenwriting or animation departments. It wasn't until more recently that that changed, thanks in large part to the casting of Robin Williams as the genie in Disney's 1992 film, Aladdin. According to the producers, the genie was directly inspired by Williams, who was known for his...
The genie was such a fucking funny character. I love him. This guy's great.
Improvisational skills and impressions, behaviors that influence the character's transformative nature from the very start of production. Williams initially accepted the role as a favor, asking for only $80,000 instead of his usual $8 million. His one and only condition, that Disney not use his casting as a marketing tactic. They, of course, ignored him. There's actually a lot more to this story that I don't really want to get into now, but Lindsay Ellis has a great video about it over on her channel that I'd highly recommend if you want to learn more. All you really need to know for now is that upon the release of Aladdin, the film saw immediate critical and commercial acclaim, which Disney was quick to credit to Robin Williams' casting and their subsequent marketing of that fact. This set a precedent, and Disney's subsequent 90s releases saw the casting of big-name celebrities for roles that would have once gone to voice actors. Mel Gibson was in Pocahontas, Matthew Broderick, Jeremy Irons, and Whoopi Goldberg were in The Lion King, Demi Moore and Kevin Kline were in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Danny DeVito and James Woods were in Hercules, and Eddie Murphy
Hercules was pretty good too. That's a pretty good old movie.
was in Mulan. Now, Disney wasn't the only company that used celebrity casting as a marketing strategy in the 90s, with Anastasia casting Meg Ryan, John Cusack, Kelsey Grammer, and Christopher Lloyd, while The Prince of Egypt cast Val Kilmer, Ray Fiennes, Michelle Pfeiffer, Sandra Bullock, and many, many more. But honestly, I don't really blame them for it, because if you were going up against Disney back in those days, you needed all the help you could get. The mouse played dirty. By the 2000s, the practice had become the norm, with everything from Shrek to Ice Age to Madagascar to robots committing to celebrity casting, with professional voice actors being relegated to TV, direct-to-video sequels, and additional voices. Some of these A-list celebrities definitely brought something special to their performances. I couldn't imagine anyone but James Woods as Hades, but others are nondescript enough that I have to wonder, were they actually the best choice for that role? Especially if some of their singing parts were done by an actual voice actor, because at that point, why not hire the voice actor to begin with? Sure, Jay Baruchel was a great choice for Hiccup in How to Train Your Dragon, but that sort of dweeby sound could have been pulled off by tons of professional voice actors.
Oh yeah, a ton of people can sound like dweebs.
Now, this isn't to say that people who first rose to prominence for their on-screen performances can't be successful voice actors. Case in point, Mark Hamill, Robin Williams, Seth Green, and Alan Tudyk.
Here, Zoe, you need to ask the boy out. It's not hard. Go to his Instagram and ask him out.
Not only have they given some great individual performances, but they've even voiced multiple characters on the same project. And if you can do that and not have anyone notice, then you're not going to hear any complaints from me. For certain celebrities like Sandra Bullock, Brad Pitt, Michelle Pfeiffer, or John Cusack, their voices might sound familiar to the average person, but you're not immediately going to recognize them as soon as they open their mouths, which I actually think is the ideal scenario when it comes to celebrity voice castings, as it makes them more.
Last time I did, you were complaining how he was 14 and you were 15.
Of a blank canvas, allowing them to play a wider variety of animated characters. So even on the off chance you do recognize their voice, you're not automatically reminded of their other roles and comparing them. Whereas with celebrities who do have more distinctive voices, ones you could do an impression of, like Danny DeVito, Eddie Murphy, Jerry.
No, I've already tried to find you a boyfriend, and you don't want to, or like you don't want to be let find one, or you won't let me find you one. So no, I'm not gonna try and find you one. No.
Seinfeld or Awkwafina, there isn't as much flexibility because the audience already associates their voice with certain behaviors and projects. That isn't to say that everyone who hears Danny DeVito is immediately going to think of Frank Reynolds, but you're probably going to assume a curmudgeonly old man is talking, which the animation industry is thankfully aware of, resisting the urge to have him voice hunky prince types. Awkwafina's voice, on the other hand, which is gravelly and loud, with the occasional emphasis on the wrong syllable, reads as obnoxious and juvenile, at least to me. And I'm always left thinking of a tween chomping on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, shouting into a headset while playing Fortnite.
Yeah, it is pretty annoying after a while.
I'm obnoxious!
Now, there's nothing wrong with that sort of voice, as long as it's appropriate for the situation, which unfortunately is rarely the case when Awkwafina's concerned.
Oh no, he's doing a voice!
Take, for instance, 2021's Raya and the Last Dragon.
God, that movie
if you watch
fucking
the film,
bombed as jack shit. Fucking hate that movie.
Sisu is a naive goofball, which isn't a bad direction to go in considering Raya's more serious personality. But because
It obviously isn't, but just the way that she plays it and the way that the plot was played out in the movie, trying to make her, whatever the fuck this girl's name is, look like the bad guy is fucking bullshit. This fucking bullshit movie. They did it so much better in Encanto.
Awkwafina is constantly cracking jokes and inserting pop culture references. Instead of her inexperience coming across as charming, like Ariel, it feels more annoying, almost like she's being ignorant on purpose as a gag. It's the type of thing that wouldn't be an issue if it were a smaller role, but as one of the protagonists, it makes the film hard to watch because you can't identify with a character you're supposed to root for.
It's hot. Ooh, it's hot. It's hot. It's really hot. Water. Look at my people arms and my people face. Look how close my butt is to my head.
Something about Awkwafina's exaggerated delivery also winds up making Sisu feel too self-aware. Like the character knows she's in a movie, so she's trying to ham things up for the audience, which conflicts with the overall tone of the film. According to Disney, Awkwafina did a good deal of improv that wound up making its way into the film, which I think negatively impacted the character.
Yeah,
Sisu's
probably.
a magical
There's
dragon,
a really good
not
chance.
a comedian from Queens. But that's how Awkwafina decided to play her, and as a result, there's very little that differentiates Sisu from any of Awkwafina's other characters.
But then I saw it wasn't you, it was her. But it wasn't in the mirror, except she had your voice. Ow!
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
You'd think the sort of obnoxious quality of her voice would have worked for Scuttle in 2023's Little Mermaid, but it doesn't. In the original film, even though Scuttle has absolutely no idea what he's talking about, he always pretends that he does, requiring his voice to have a sense of intelligence and confidence. He's irritating, but still likable. Awkwafina's version of the character is more ditzy, at least when she's not squawking, making Ariel's trust in her more of a stretch. I get that the "it's a bird, so its voice is annoying" thing was done on purpose, but it's just really unpleasant to listen to. Like some random kid holding their finger in your face screaming, "I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you."
Time to turn this baby on beast mode.
God, I fucking hate kids. These kids are so obnoxious. Like, holy shit.
In 2022's Bad Guys, Awkwafina shouts more sparingly. And while that succeeds in making her a bit easier to listen to,
Yeah.
the hoarseness of her voice still doesn't work for the character. Miss Tarantula is
Yeah, she's definitely more listenable in this movie. I only saw it once. I barely noticed her in it.
supposed to be confident and mischievous, not sound like she's getting over a cold.
What? Did you just call me?
Sorry, I thought your name was Chump.
Yeah, Chump. Yeah, that's my name. What?
In 2023's Migration, where she plays a streetwise pigeon named Chump, her voice works a bit better for the character, largely because the vocal fry actually does make her sound like an old person. But I'll have to be honest, she isn't intimidating at all, which is sort of what you need for a mob boss type of character. So just like Scuttle, everything that's coming out of her mouth just isn't super believable.
You got
Yeah.
me, oh great and powerful dumpling warrior.
In 2024's Kung Fu Panda
God.
4,
This movie, yeah.
she continues to disappoint. Even though Zhen and Sisu are supposed to be pretty different, Awkwafina plays them the same way, to the extent that they even make similar jokes. While you could place part of the blame on the writing, which is definitely not as strong as the original Kung Fu Panda trilogy, I wouldn't be surprised if some of Awkwafina's improv made the final cut, meaning that once again, she's pushing her own personality onto the character, instead of letting the character's personality direct her performance. Regardless of their species, age, background, or importance to the story, all of Awkwafina's characters have had one main shtick: sarcasm. Now that's by no means unheard of. Just look at Timon in The Lion King, the fairy godmother in Shrek, Kuzco in The Emperor's New Groove, or Nani in Lilo and Stitch. But those aren't their only personality traits. Those characters are unique, and as a result, their voices are unique. But nowadays, if an animated character is remotely snarky, they immediately bring in Awkwafina. And because she only knows how to play herself, the character suffers as a result, only being remembered for their sass. In
Yeah, it's really fucking annoying, not gonna lie.
animation, the audio is just as important as the visuals. Certain accents, tones, timbres, and cadences have developed connotations over the years, And these different vocal qualities can tell you as much about an animated character as their appearance does. That's why professional voice actors like Jim Cummings, Tara Strong, Seth MacFarlane, Nick Kroll, Jennifer Hale, and Nancy Cartwright have developed dozens of different voices for their wide array of characters. It helps tell the story. Some voice actors like H. John Benjamin, Patrick Warburton, Jenny Slate, and Kristen Schaal tend to use their normal voices, but because of their experience in the industry, they're still blank slates, not pushing pre-existing personalities onto their characters.
We need more, like, actual voice actors in the roles. Like, hire people who are specifically voice actors, like, not normal actors. We need specifically, like, voice actors. So someone like Gianni or someone like that, who's been like a voice actor for multiple like games and shit. We need more people like that, in my opinion.
Case in point, Bob Belcher and Sterling Archer, two identical sounding characters who couldn't possibly be more different. Also, these actors can alter their voices to sound different when the situation calls for it, which makes it clear that the decision to use their normal voice is a creative one, not one born from a lack of ability. Time and time again, Awkwafina has proven that she doesn't have the range that's expected of an actual voice actor, and yet she continues to be cast, purely because the industry has decided that a name is more important than a good performance. Although Awkwafina has been the focus of this video,
and like, yeah, talking about like vocal ranges like that, like look at like actual voice actors again, like Gianni. He can do so many different voices to where you can't even tell it's him most of the time. Like I could think of like four distinct character voices that sound pretty different from each other, done by him specifically, that you can do in that sort of capacity.
she's far from the only celebrity securing voice roles for shallow reasons, with one of the most notable examples being Hollywood's worst Chris Pratt. Pratt began his stint of voice roles with 2014's The Lego Movie, where I actually think his voice worked since Emmett is a normal, boring dude with absolutely no unique interest.
Pratt works pretty good. He worked really well as Mario and Emmett. Like I liked that. He's a really good actor too. He knows how to do voices good.
Following the success of the film, and the general push in Hollywood to make Pratt a household name with Jurassic World and Guardians of the Galaxy, he quickly became one of the most popular celebrity voice casts, even for films that he had no business being in. In 2020's Onward, 2023's The Super Mario Bros. Movie, and 2024's Garfield, Pratt continued to use his normal voice, which, as we said, is incredibly generic, making it a poor fit for the characters in question.
I'd say it only really works well for Mario. It doesn't work well on Garfield at all. It only works well on Mario and Emmett.
Like you're trying to tell me that Garfield, a notoriously lazy cat with a ravenous appetite, just sounds like some guy? I don't think so. What's even stranger is that unlike Awkwafina, Pratt can pull off different accents and voices, but for some reason, all that comes out in the recording booth is more of the same. Although the animation industry seems to truly believe that celebrities are the reason these films have been bringing in the big bucks, I don't think it has anything to do with it. It's the story. That's what's important. Or at least that's what's important
Disney's
to me.
Getting fucking tanked
Instead
right
of
now.
spending millions of dollars on a middling performance from an A-list celebrity, I'd much prefer it if the studios took that money and hired someone who could actually bring the character to life. And while they're at it, they could pay their animators and writers better too. Because if I have to sit through Frozen 5 or Despicable Me 7, where half the cast is voiced by Awkwafina, Chris Pratt, and James Corden, I'll have to go and shut down their computers myself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!
Great video. Absolutely love it. Let me send it in chat. W. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna get off. Everyone have a great day and sleep well. Bye.